Hello friends, have you ever wished there was an easy and straightforward way to secure files uploaded to your website through JetFormBuilder? Well, I have developed a simple and easy plugin that helps you do exactly that. My name is Astariko and let me take you through the plugin so that you understand how it works. Here we are looking at the settings page and the first option here is allowed user roles. What you do here is select the roles that you want to be able to view or download files that have been secured. Please understand, administrators and file owners will always have access to these files regardless of the settings that you make here. The other thing is front-end button visibility, and what this does is when enabled, it will completely hide the buttons from unauthorized users. Next is form configuration, and here you can decide to do three things. The first one is enable automatic secure of all the forms. That is, if you want all files in all your forms to be secured. If that's not the case, then kindly select the specific forms from the list that you would like their files to be secured. Form processing model option here enables you to have a model that shows the form submission or the processing feedback during a form submission. This is just useful because sometimes if your form has a lot of fields or has a lot of uploads, it might take longer, and that for some users they could start clicking around or something like that, interfere with the form submission before the process completes. This is optional. You don't need to enable it if you don't like it or if you have something else that you're using for the same purpose. The last setting here is debugging, and this is useful if you are trying to catch some issues with this plugin. Maybe it's not working as you expect. Enable this, resubmit a form, go to your error log, check for what is happening, and you could possibly share that with us to do further troubleshooting of the issues that you might be facing. Now that said, you can access this settings page in two different ways. Number one, go to settings in your admin menu, then look for secure docs in that list. And the other way is when you are on the plugins page, you can just you can locate the Nelx Secure Document Storage and hit the settings link, and that will bring you back to this page. Updates, you can update the plugin in two different ways. The first one, you can always update it from here. If there's a new update, you'll always see it pop here, or you can also find the update here on the plugins list page. Now that said and done, let me show you one thing that I thought it's important for you to know when it comes to setting up your forms, and that is your media field. Now what you need to do is make sure you enable any registered user. When it comes to user access, have this enabled, any registered user. Make sure you also enable insert attachment, and the field value that you should select from the list is attachment ID. The rest of the settings there is entirely up to you. Now that brings us to the next part, which is Elementor and JetEngine. I just forgot to mention that JetEngine is required for this to work because we are leveraging custom callbacks for this. So once you are here, or rather once you are, whenever you want to display the files on the front end, go to the elements panel and search for dynamic field, then drag the widget into the editor. And we have two things that I want you to pay attention to. Number one, you might have a normal file or a normal media field, or you might have a repeater field that has the media. I hope you get that. For instance, this is a repeater field for this form, and you could just have a normal media field that is not inside a repeater. Now we have both scenarios taken care of here. So let us look at how to set up media fields for normal fields. So the first thing you want to do, as I said, get the dynamic field widget, drop it into the editor. Then the source should be metadata. The meta field should be the meta field that stores your media where you have mapped it from the form. Then scroll down and make sure you enable filter field output. Then callback, look for secure file links. That's our callback. You can do the rest of the settings here as you wish, such as changing the name of the text of the button, either disallowing or allowing the view and the download buttons. If you want to do some, I don't know, crazy CSS styling to your buttons, you can use the CSS classes that I've provided here, although that is not really useful because we already have styles for styling your button as you please here in Elementor as well. So that is one for a normal media field. And if you are dealing with a repeater, it's almost the same step but with a slight difference. So drag and drop the dynamic field again. And I want to clarify that we are not using dynamic repeater here. That is native to JetEngine. We are not using that. We are using the normal dynamic field. Drag and drop it into the editor. Then this is how you should set it up. Source, metadata, meta field, leave it blank. Then down here under the object field, meta field, repeater key, component properties, I want you to do this. Go to your, whether it's CPT, whether it's CCT, whether it's, what do we call it? Whether it's, you've created those additional field using meta boxes. Go to wherever they are. For my case, these are user fields that I've created using meta boxes, JetEngine meta boxes. And what I want you to do is get the repeater key. The name here, this is the repeater key that you need to copy and paste it here under the object field, meta field, repeater key, component properties. Paste that here. Make sure this is your repeater key that stores the field with the media or with the files. Then scroll down. Also enable filter field output. Then as usual, callback is secure file links. You can set these other things as you please. Then here now the difference is make sure you also enable this is a repeater field. Enable this is a repeater field. Then decide whether you want to use table or cards. And under the settings, or under the style tab, you can style your button and your cards or tables as you please. So that's all about setting it up in Elementor. The next thing that I just want to show you now is how this thing looks like in the front end. Now I have logged in an incognito window as an administrator, and as I said, administrators have permission to view files. Now this is an administrator looking at a staff profile, and as you can see here we have professional qualifications. These are cards, and certification and licenses, this is a table. Now you might want to use these things sparingly. For instance, if you are pretty sure that the repeater details will not have a lot of repeater items, then using cards is ideal. But if you think your repeater items or other users are likely to submit a lot of details under the repeater items, then I will advise you to use tables because they are neat and they look nice with a lot of data in them. Now we mentioned a few things here, for instance, disabling the button and also form processing model. Now this is now Mary. Mary is a staff member, and let us go to clients list. Now the other thing that you need to know about this plugin is that it also denies search engines from indexing these files. You can also not access the files directly if you get the URL, because that does not work, and you can download them as well. So that is the beauty of this plugin. Now this is Mary. Mary is viewing a client profile, and as you can see, Mary can actually view because we have permission enabled for staff members, and Mary can also download. Now let me show you something else. Now suppose we disable Mary, or rather remove Mary from the list of roles that can access files. Then let us go back and try to access this file again. You do not have permission to access this file. That's how it works. Then now, because they do not have permission to access the file, then how about we just disable the buttons entirely, because it doesn't make sense. So let us enable that. Save settings, saved, and go back here and refresh this page. They see just dashes, no buttons. Now if Mary decides to check their profile, their own profile, they will still be able to see their files because they are file owners. They can't view files belonging to other people, but they can view their own files, as you can see here. So this is Mary's profile, and these are her details, documents and all that, so they can view this. And I just forgot to mention that these are also responsive and they look good on mobile, as you can see on your screen right now. That's how they look like on mobile devices. Now let us just try to now submit a form with this option here called form processing model disabled. Then come back and enable the model and try to do that as well. So I will just submit this without doing anything. So that's how it works right now without the model enabled. And let us now go back and enable the model here. Save changes. Then let us go back and refresh this page. Now let us try to submit the same form. Okay, let me use this one here that has a lot of fields. So let me just submit this and see how that works. So that's our model. It shows feedback, then scrolls to the feedback message once the form has been submitted, either successfully or an error. It scrolls down to it. And that's how this plugin works. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And just lastly is to let you know where you can download the plugin from. The link is included in the description down below. This is the documentation page, everything that I've mentioned, and maybe if I've skipped anything, you can go through the docs here. Everything is well documented and what you're supposed to do. Download the plugin from here. This is version 1.04. Whatever you've seen in the video is the latest version. So if you land to this page before I update it, you will find that update after you install the plugin. If you land to this page after I've updated it, no problem. Yeah, I think that's all, and thank you very much for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, that is very important. Leave your comments, let me know if you need any other video build or other created for you, and I will see you in the next one. If I didn't mention my name, I'm Master Rico, and have a lovely time.